So I guess we'll open it up now for any questions. Does anybody have any questions? I'm not even sure if I know how to field them.
I think the questions are coming to Brian because I made him the host.
Yeah, we got one question. I'll paste them to you, Lynn, and then you can ask them. So we got that one question.
Okay, so the question that Brian received was, is there a link to the PowerPoint presentation?
We're happy to, I can upload that link to that Dropbox resource in Panel A. It just won't have the copyrighted video of George White in there, but the rest of the presentation will be uploaded into that file.
Okay, another question that Brian received. In Bob Stone's book, he said Jimmy K was paid for storage at his house, which I don't think we got back. Does anyone know what Jimmy was storing at his house?
I do not. You know, all I know is what Bob referenced in the book. And if memory serves me correctly, which, you know, these days I have to qualify that, it was something like $100 a month. And I truthfully have no idea. Never heard.
Another question is, I'm not really sure about this, what about websites and other channels? I'm not sure what that means exactly, if there are other websites that we know about other than the ones that we're going to throw the links up for.
Well, there's a lot of them out there. I mean, but I don't really know that that's kind of the purview of this place. I mean, of this particular workshop, the two that we have talked about are the Narchive and also carrythemessage.com, but there are definitely many more. So.
Right. So Brian is going, oh wait, was that Brian who wanted to say something? Go ahead.
I'm going to jump in real quick just to answer that question, just because we have them. Go post them. Everybody, here's a bunch of links I just put in the chat. Some of that might answer the Miracle Happens book, the Bob Stone book, carrythemessage.com. So that might be some of the information that person's seeking.
Great, thank you. And we're going to post those links a couple more times during the course of this workshop, so people who come in late have access to them. Chris and Boyd, is there anything else that you want to say before we move on to panel B?
I just created a PDF of the PowerPoint, uploaded it to the Dropbox folder for the Panel A resources. So that was a good question, good suggestion. And again, thank you, Lynn, for your vision on this. And again, it's remarkable to see so many folks from around the world engaged in various forms of history projects and history interest. And this is a big leap forward for Narcotics Anonymous as a fellowship around history.
I have one question for Chris, actually. Do we have the link to the Dropbox up in the chat yet?
I hadn't put it in. I can certainly drop that in right now.
Yeah, please do.
So here's an interesting question. All the history mentioned is many years old. Should we be looking at modern history?
Of course. Of course we should. We should be recording what goes on now for future generations to be aware of. So the answer to that is yes.
And that's exactly why we put this workshop together, to encourage that happening everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to start with history, start with your home group. Find out how it started. You know?
The other thing that we would just add with that is digitizing history is important. You know, that we encourage people as often as possible to think about digitizing your archives or what you have. And even if they are a week old and don't quite feel like they're historical yet, digitize those as a way to preserve them, because we've seen experiences where, history gets lost, as this kind of primary document history gets lost.
It really is. We'll give you an example that Boas's house burnt down, I'm thinking 3 or 4 years ago, and in that house there was a lot of hard copies of NA history in there. Now, fortunately, all the stuff that that we considered like high value had already been digitized, and without that digitization going on, that stuff would have been lost. Period. Gone. Poof. So it's a prime example to please go ahead and digitize it and put it in a safe place. So I can't encourage that enough.
Lynn, thanks. We did great on time, and appreciate everyone's contributions, and look forward to the rest of the panels.
Yeah, very much so. Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate it.